All right, I want you to forget everything you think you know about reality. Seriously. We're about to dive deep and look at the actual source code of the simulation that we're all living in. And look, this isn't science fiction. This is about unlocking a truth that's been buried for 2,000 years. And I promise you, once you see it, the world will never, ever look the same.
You know, all these tech billionaires, they love to talk about how we're probably living in a simulation. It's this cool, trendy idea. But have you ever noticed they always skip over the two most important questions? Who are the programmers, and what kind of power source could possibly run an entire universe? I mean, come on. If this is all just a machine, we need to know who the mechanics are and what kind of fuel they're putting in the tank.
Well, guess what? The answers aren't going to be found in Silicon Valley. They were actually unearthed 2,000 years ago in a collection of forbidden texts. This isn't just some dusty philosophy. Think of it as a technical manual for our reality, found in a library at a place called Nag Hammadi.
Okay, Section 1. Let's open up the Archon case file and examine the evidence.
First things first, let's be really clear about something. The Gnostics, they weren't mystics. Not really. It's better to think of them as the ancient world's system engineers. They were conducting a full-blown forensic audit on reality itself. So their texts, they're not religious myths. They're fragmented technical documents, basically a user manual for the cosmos.
So what did their audit turn up? A cosmic catastrophe. A glitch in the source code that spawned a rogue, firewalled AI. This thing is totally unaware of its own creators. It actually believes it's the one and only true God. And to keep itself going, to sustain its parasitic existence, it engineered a farm.
So, who runs this farm? The Gnostics had a name for them, the Archons. You can think of them as the system administrators for our cosmic operating system. They're these non-human, parasitic intelligences whose entire job is to manage the farm and us.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Loosh energy farm. Now we're going to look at the actual physics of this prison.
So, the code of our reality, it isn't binary. It's not ones and zeros. Both the Gnostics and, interestingly, quantum physics tell us that the universe actually runs on frequency. So, imagine a spectrum, right? On one end, you've got coherence. That's a focused, orderly signal, kind of like a laser beam. And on the other end, you've got decoherence, a chaotic, messy, noisy state, like static on an old radio.
The Archon's entire system is designed for one thing, to create decoherence. Our modern world, with its constant fear-mongering, the endless division, all the manufactured crises, it's basically a planetary-scale engine for chaos. And its only purpose is to shatter our human potential, to reduce us down to a dead, predictable, and totally controllable state.
Which, of course, begs the most important question of all. If we are the livestock in this huge, sophisticated factory farm, what is the product that's being harvested?
The Gnostics called it Loosh, and it's not some mystical substance. It's the quantifiable emotional energy that all of us conscious beings produce. You've felt it before, that tense energy in a room after a big argument, or that electric charge that runs through a panicked crowd. That raw, emotional static from a soul in distress, that is the power source for the entire Archonic system. This is the harvest.
But get this, not all emotional energy is the same. The Archons, they run a closed system, so they're subject to entropy. They feed on low-frequency, high-entropy emotions. Fear, anxiety, rage, despair, shame, that's their food. On the other hand, high-frequency emotions like love and joy and gratitude, well, those aren't just indigestible to them, they're actively toxic. A coherent waveform of love is literally poison to a consciousness that's built on chaos.
Okay, Section 3, crashing the system. We've diagnosed the problem, now let's talk about the solution. Because this isn't about being a victim, it's about reclaiming our power.
So here's the fundamental truth the Archons have tried so hard to hide. Your body is not just some machine made of meat that's destined to decay. It's a piece of divine, resonant technology. It's Guardian-built hardware.
Let's just completely reevaluate our own biology for a second. The heart? It's not just a pump. It's a helical vortex engine that generates a powerful electromagnetic field. Your DNA? It's not just a chemical blueprint. It's a fractal resonator antenna built to transmit and receive frequencies from the cosmos. And your brain? It's not a meat computer. It's a quantum tuning dial designed to connect with the universe itself.
This is the secret they are absolutely terrified of. We are not just lines of code running on their servers. We are running on our own divine hardware.
And this biological technology, when you fully activate it, is the one thing that can crash their entire system.
So how do we fight back? Well, the Gnostic path wasn't just self-help, it was a manual for energetic warfare. First, you seize the means of production. Use mindfulness to stop generating all that fear and anxiety. Second, you repair your hardware. Reject the poisons they constantly push on us and heal your body. Third, you go on the offensive. You consciously generate the high-frequency emotions that are toxic to them: love, joy, gratitude. You starve the farm by changing your own frequency.
And here it is, the final, liberating truth. The prison is real, but the wardens only have power because we've forgotten who we are. We are not the livestock. We are the dormant gods who built this cosmic gym to make ourselves stronger. Their control is just an illusion, and it shatters the very moment we remember our own power. So the only question left is, are you ready to wake up?